The presence around C here coming through for Sentinels on the defense. Baby Bait pops the Blade Storm. Dapr dealing with Corey straight away. Rooker's able to punish the play through a lobby, so that's going to open up the A side of the map. But ShaZaM, he's going aggressive. You wouldn't expect this. You would never expect that from ShaZaM. He takes down Raucus, who was hoping that the site would be for free. Why would there be somebody there? And now FaZe in a terrible position. ZAC and Marved against 4 to try to save FaZe's chances in this grand finals. As Dapr tags ZAC even more. It's looking so
Last weekend, you guys talked a lot about how you didn't really feel any pressure for this tournament just because of your circumstances. Do you feel that feeling benefited you guys and helped you guys play better, even better than usual?
One of my past interviews, but like coming up to this tournament, like we were expected to win mostly. Like there was a lot of pressure on our shoulders with our actual roster, but once people like saw that we were adding TenZ, people kind of gave us a break. They're like, nah, these guys aren't going to win anymore. So it was like a lot of pressure lifted off our shoulders, and we kind of just played like even more free flowing than we normally do with TenZ. So I think a lot of people got caught off guard by the way we were playing, for sure.
I personally thought there was more pressure because we got TenZ, because like people think TenZ is like a god, so we had to do good, honestly.
Yeah.
Hey guys, thanks for taking the time to talk with us. Obviously, congratulations. This kind of just follows up on a question that I had brought up with FaZe. You know, next up is Iceland, a LAN tournament. How excited, how prepared are you guys to see the game finally come to land?
I feel like there's a lot of talk about regions and people hyping certain regions and outright saying that this region is going to be better because they look more tactical. But I want to see how that actually plays out. I think this game's a lot about matchups and certain styles, like even within NA, like teams match up well against certain teams because they play away like a style or composition. So I think our team already has a lot of LAN history in their previous games as well. So I feel like we would just be more cemented in a LAN tournament setting than online where people are playing more free flow as well.
Hey guys, congratulations and thank you for taking the time to speak with us. This question is for Shaz. You and I talked before the tournament, and we had talked a little bit about how you didn't have a coach and how you were kind of stepping into that role. And we had also talked about the fact that in past tournaments, it had been a little difficult for you guys to clutch out that ultimate win. So what do you think is the driving factor behind this tournament, and what did you do differently that ultimately got you that first place title?
Like what SicK said previously is that we played really loose, especially with having Tyson as a stand-in. Everyone was actively trying to come up with plays and say what they want to do because there wasn't a whole lot of preparation before. And I feel like that just pushes every single person in the server to constantly think about their round in the game. And you just have a better read as a team.
Hey guys, great game. My big question is obviously, I think the one that stands out to a lot of people, TenZ was added to this roster. You said you didn't feel as much pressure, but now that you've won, is it kind of a proof of concept that TenZ fits into this squad and is a strong addition to the team? Is it going to change how you guys would maybe, if you had lost 2 out, it would have changed the way that, you kind of saw an addition of TenZ into the squad?
Nah, I think even if we went out, I think we still would have like trusted all this because we had so much success like earlier, like before even this event. If we bowed out, you could just like kind of chalk it up to lack of practice, and like these teams obviously like preparing really hard. But now that we won, I don't think it really changes. I think we're just really happy that like everything we still did and like we're comfortable doing, like still paid off. Obviously, TenZ could just like I feel like TenZ could have slotted into any team and like probably made them better, but we were the lucky ones to get them.
Now, I praised SicK for really putting in work last weekend, but this weekend, it seemed like you did a lot of the heavy lifting for your team. What was it about today that just really made you pop off?
Individually, I think I kind of found like a really good pre-match, not really ritual, but just like something I always do before pre-matches. I won't even say what it is, but I think I've like got really comfortable like starting off pretty well in matches. I think a big part of me playing really well in these matches is pretty much the pistol rounds. I think I had a lot of impact on like a majority of the pistol rounds. And I feel like once I start off hot, I kind of just keep it going. I like my confidence, just to make like an aggressive lurk or like having a read and just like completely trusting that like my read is right. It helps me a lot. But yeah, for like the separate gameplay and like lurking in general, I think I have a good read on like how at least a team like FaZe rotates around. So I was able to like kind of rat around and like find the little holes that they have. So yeah, it also makes it easier that they didn't run a Sentinel, because usually like what counters me is like another Sentinel, like a tripwire or like a alarm bot or turret or something. So it's easier when they don't have one.
Guys, just want to ask you about not having a map advantage in the grand finals. What are your thoughts on that, and how do you think that should change, if it should change?
Zombs.
I mean, I'm fine with it, but I think for this Masters there should have been a map advantage, because throughout all the qualifiers there was a map advantage, so it makes no sense to change it like towards the end of the tournament.
I mean, I can add on to this. Like, if there's a double elimination bracket and every team gets to lose twice, like there has to be some sort of advantage, whether it's a bracket reset or a map advantage. It should be significant. If you lose a whole series during the tournament, and you climb back up the lower bracket final, the upper bracket winners that have not lost should have a map advantage, in my opinion. It's hard to have a veto advantage because there's so limited maps anyways. And it doesn't make sense for the upper bracket team to lose once and be out of the tournament.
Howdy, guys. So this event was all about defying your own expectations, or maybe expectations that others have had about, coming in playing with the sub. Despite the success you've had already, you've had prior to this event, did this event kind of become a let's prove ourselves moment for the team?
Yeah, I'll answer, I guess. I think there's never really anything for us to prove. I think people generally take it the wrong way when they're trying to reach like the number one spot or whatever. People like think way too much about what the public thinks about them or like how they're going to perform. But I think our team is different because we just show up and play the game, and it's like we don't think about the outside expectations or anything like that could affect us outside the game. And I think that comes from, like Shaz said, the experience that we all have. Like we have years of CS experience and Overwatch experience and stuff like that. So we know how to perform under pressure, and I don't think we let any of that get to us normally.
Okay, I'm just going to reach here. I'm just going to go and ask it. TenZ, do you want to keep playing with Sentinels going forward?
For me, yeah. Like, it feels amazing to win. I definitely have that competitive itch, and I really notice it most like just through winning and just playing with a bunch of fantastic players that I do want to be a pro player.
With international play coming up, are there any international teams that you're really looking at, not only to kind of prepare for, or even trying to, look at what they're doing? Is there any international team that you just want to, is on your radar right now?
For me, it's Vision Strikers. They have a ton of hype for being undefeated in their region, and I feel like we do pretty well versus teams that have a lot of set plays. I just feel like when you have gone this long without losing in one region, you're only limited in how good your team can possibly be. So I would just like to play them in a tournament.
Okay, so when FaZe was here, a question was kind of posed about whether they thought other teams would try to implement the way that you handled them, the way you defeated them, the way you played against them. Do you think that that's a possibility? And what do you think kind of about the respect that FaZe Clan has given you?
Well, me personally, I like all the FaZe guys. I think me and Zombs, we know the FaZe guys pretty well. I've only just met them like in Valorant. I think Zombs known some of them way longer than that. So like I play matchmaking with like Baby Bay, Corey, Rocket. Like I personally, on a personal level, I like all of them. So like in the game, I'm even typing to Baby Bay and like we're just having fun. It barely even feels like a final against them. So yeah, them hyping us up. I feel like when you win like as much as we have against them, it's kind of hard to be like, you can't really go into an interview and be like, yeah, they're like, we almost had them the last 11 times. And then this time it's going to be different. It's kind of hard. You kind of have to like put respect on our name at that point. But yeah, I also think it comes down to like our personal relationships with them that like they kind of hype us up a little more than others.
Okay, so you guys had to kind of throw your team together last second with the addition of TenZ after Sinatra was replaced. Do you feel that the addition of TenZ was an easy transition for you, or do you feel like you had a bit of a difficult time at the start?
I think it was a pretty easy transition. I think he gets like a bad rep from like when he was competing in CS and maybe he didn't like the way his team was playing. But I was really surprised with how quickly he adapted to like our play style. And we didn't really have to worry about him not knowing what to do because he was always like on top of our game plan and like, if we're playing split, he's playing Raze and he instantly fills in the role of Raze and he just, double blast backs out B or something like that. Like he's really adaptive and he's really talented. And I think he has a good future in this game either way.
Were there any teams in this tournament that kind of surprised you or that caught your attention?
I'm gonna be honest. They surprised me through the whole tournament. I feel like maybe we just match up really well versus them, but when I prepare for that team, they don't seem like too intricate with their strategies. The stuff they do is pretty static and straightforward. It's more so like them as individuals making plays, and it surprises me that they ran through all the other teams in the bracket. But they impressed me. Obviously, they deserve to be in the grand finals if they're getting these ones. But yeah, it was just a surprise to me.
I could say Gen G. I don't think anybody expected them to get top 3 and beat like Envy and the teams. I think they'd be like 100 Thieves and Exa. I might be wrong with that one, but I'm pretty sure they knocked out 100 Thieves and they knocked out Envy, which is pretty a pretty big accomplishment in my eyes for their future at least. So I could see them being really good.
Hey guys, congrats on the win today. I just had a follow up for TenZ. Now you of course said that you enjoy winning now, but you went from a Cloud9 team that struggled to qualify for Strike, and now you're on this extremely successful Sentinel squad, and you just won Masters. What are the biggest differences you've noticed after playing on both teams?
Something that I noticed the most through the Sentinel squad is I don't really have to feel like, or I don't feel obligated to just make superstar plays and like try to be a hero every round. I kind of did that sometimes on C9. But like on this squad, I can just trust everyone to really like play their roles perfectly and hold their own.
What do you think is the difference between you guys and other teams when playing against FaZe to get such different results against them?
I don't know. Just play the game. I mean, we're all better individually than them, and we're all better as a team. That's all there is to it.
That's like the straight punch.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to the way we adapt to how they're aggressing. Like, I think some teams come in with like a really set game plan, like, when they push, we do this. But normally we just sit in our spawn and wait for them to push us. And FaZe is like, well, where are they? And then they have to keep pushing, and they just run out our crosshairs. So I think it's just like our game plan going into the game isn't so strict that we just have to like run into their aggression. Like if we want to take a part of the map, like we wait. But I think other teams, they just like have a super set game plan on how to beat them. And I don't think it works necessarily against that kind of team.
Yeah, I agree with Hunter where I feel like we're just really good at adapting to play styles. And I feel like FaZe, they adapt. They've been adapting better and better every time I play them, in my opinion. Obviously it hasn't been working out, but I see like the changes they're trying. But I just think compared to other like top NA teams, I think we're like always on top of the adapting and like having a really good read on like what they're gonna do and how to counter it.
What are you guys doing tonight to celebrate the big win?
Another day in the office for me.
Might order some McDonald's.
I think I'm gonna get some sushi with my girlfriend. So let's go.
Thanks for the invite.
I know, right? Wow.
You going on a double date?
The rest of
On a
us?
third wheel or what?
Not even having a team dinner.
Double date?
I'll go with Zombs. He'll be my
We're
date.
having a team dinner or what? Fly TenZ.
Tyson and
Yeah, fly me over, bro.
Fly over. Well, no, let's do it. Let's order food and then do it like on this Zoom call. We all eat together. We'll talk about the win.
Stuff my face with a Big Mac.
Yeah, we just eating good tonight. That's all. Yeah.
That's adorably wholesome.
Yeah.